Assalamu alaikum, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, my dear professionals. I hope you're feeling energized and getting ready, that maybe you are reaching towards the end of the sessions of this course. Isn't that true? It's the last session, second last session. And we are ready now to learn. And instead of calling it a management skill, I have designated this a skill required how to lead a positive change. Of course, we learned 9 of the management skills. हम इसको भी एक management skill कह सकते हैं. But I think calling it a leading skill or a leadership skill, that reminds me that when we were learning the framework of the management skills, maybe around session number 5 or 6, we briefly touched upon that the management skills are the one required by every manager, required by every officer and executive. And those are the skills which may be based on management functions. But then at the same time, if you focus on the advocacy skills, if you focus on the changes which are required by the market, required by the organizations, required wherever you work in a workplace, change and its management, and especially when it's a positive change, it's more like a leadership skill than a management skill. That's what we like to learn. And learn in this session and the session next, that how we lead a positive change at the organizational level, departmental level, group level. And most important, any change which will occur in the organization or in the team or in the project or in the department will not be sustainable unless it occurs at the personal level, at the individual level. So in other words, when we speak of managing a change or when we speak of leading a change, there is a difference, and the difference is exactly when you differentiate between the leadership and management. A manager, an executive, an officer is a one who is responsible to do the things in the right fashion. He or she follow the process. He or she would like to see what the policies and the strategies are. What are the tools and resources available, and what's the timeline? Management is doing things in the right fashion. You follow the procedure. You carried out what is required. You looked into the SOP. You did it. What was written in the recipe. You have just implemented what is written as a code. What will be the end result? What would be the effectiveness? What would be the long-term impact? You really do not look into it from that angle. That's why Professor Warren Bennis says that leadership is that you do and you do the right things. If you need a little tuning in the process, tuning, and tuning is changing. If you need a little adjustment in the procedure, if you need to go a little out of the box, you'll do it. Because you are focused on doing the right things. You are in control. You are in charge. You like to make sure that whatever services, whatever products, whatever ideas are presented and presented by you, they should be first class. They should be world class. They should be that when it interacts with the consumer, with the customer, with the employee, with whoever so is the stakeholder will satisfy him or satisfy her. So that's why, speaking of the positive change, let's call it for a minute that it's a leadership skill. So while we are learning the management skill, we expect from you that you should at the same time lead yourself, lead your career, lead the organization, and lead it in a way that you do the right things. You stand for the right values. You stand for the right services. You look at the market from the viewpoint of sustainability. Yes, short-term goals are important, but then you look at the forest at the macro level, and you look at the trees. So looking at the trees and counting them, measuring them, controlling them is a management skill. Yes, you have to nurture them. Make sure you give them fertilizer, you give them water, you take care of the sunshine, you take care of the things which are required. And sometimes it requires pruning. You do it. That's management. But when you look at the macro level, when you look at the forest level, you look at the holistic view as leadership skill. That's your visualization. That's your looking into future. What is the value at the macro level? So see, whether you like to move on and take a leading position, or you like to just stick on to your table and to your work procedure, follow the management skill and be a general manager, a senior manager, a principal manager, whatever you like to call or you like to achieve the title in the organization. So my dear students, we like to learn in this session at the organizational level how to create positive change. Does that mean there are negative changes as well? Yes. Toxic people, people full of jealousy, bring negative changes. People who sabotage, people who would like to make sure that they resist. Are there people like that? Yes, there are. You'll find people and personalities of different types. So we like to learn how to create positive change and a positive energy. And then we like to see how to develop this capability. How to develop the capability which will be able to make you lead the positive change. So then we need to learn what is that skill set which will make you capable. What is that mindset which will develop that attitude? Which is that technical set which requires you to learn certain tools? And then you acquire that ability, whether this ability is to sit in a course and go through a training program, or maybe sit on a computer or a machine and learn it in a technical way. But you acquire the ability so that you can mobilize the capabilities of others as well, around you, sitting with you, your peers, your colleagues. You can achieve the positive change. That's why this is not an individual skill, it's a group skill. You have to work and work with others. You have to relate and relate positively, so a positive synergy is created. Positive energy is flowing from you to others. And positive energy is what keeps you coming back to the organization every day. Now, speaking of change, my dear students, it looks easy, it looks simple. But let me tell you to begin with, this is the rule of the nature. Better it is that you learn it. Better it is that you adapt it. You adjust yourself. The changes will be there. Changes in your career, changes in your life, changes in your family, changes in the market conditions, changes in the job conditions, changes in the office, changes in the structure, changes in the strategies, you name it. Changes will be there. Sooner you feel comfortable with it. I know some people it provides discomfort. Remember I used to say, Zami Jumbad na Jumbad Gul Muhammad. Gul Muhammad ka change hona bada mushkil hai. Gul Fatima ko changing skill ko learn karna और changing attitude develop करना मुश्किल है. बिल्कुल उसी तरह से मुश्किल है जैसे आप ये कह सकते हैं कि गुल टेक्सटाइल के लिए सिस्टम और प्रोसीजर्स और प्रोडक्ट्स को चेंज करना मुश्किल है. It requires new resources. It requires new design. It requires new machinery, technology. It requires a decision-making at some level that, yes, we are ready to take the risk. So, in other words, risk and change are related with each other. That's why people resist. That's why companies resist. But those companies who embrace the changing attitude, look at their designs. See within how many months they bring a new product. Because the consumer demands changes. Changes in functionality. Changes in performance. Changes in apps. Changes in color scheme. So in other words, positive change is a sign of life. And life has to go on. सूरज जहां से आज निकलता है कल नहीं निकलेगा. That's the law of nature. Seasons will come and go. You cannot stop. If it's a rule of nature that positive change is required and liked by nature, then I think Gul Muhammad and Gul Fatma should also learn. And if they're working in office, they should try to adapt and make it sure that they do it and do it in the organizations as well. So that's why in this session, we would like to focus on the organizations. And speaking of the organizations then, while discussing what is change management and how do we manage this change, but in this session, we will talk about managing change from the organizational perspective. Next session would be managing change from the individual's perspective. Speaking of individuals or speaking of organizations. And organizations are nothing more than a group of people, a system, social system, working together to achieve certain goals. How to develop readiness at the organizational level as well as at the individual level. So before I go any further, please, are you sure you have completed your PAMS, Personal Assessment of Management Skills? Remember in probably session number 3 or 4, we said there are 9 management skills which are supposed to learn. We have gone through them. 10th is the managing change. You must have answered the statements 75 to 80 in PAMS. अपने सामने रखिए इसे. Remember the scale 1 to 6? You must have answered these statements. Where are you at the beginning of the course? And maybe you like to do it again. All these 10 areas, 80 statements, answer it after the course is over and see how your number is enhanced, how your skill set is enhanced. For example, area number 10, managing change, is asking you, 77, statement number 77. I frequently give other people positive feedback because you are interested in change in them. Change of attitude, change of work habit, change of targets meeting, change of interpersonal skills, feedback. I frequently give other people positive feedback. Achha, maybe this is not your requirement. You're not responsible for it. But since they are working with you, They are your colleagues, they are your peers. You think bringing a positive change in them will help the group and the organization. And we are part of the organization. Statement number 79. I express compassion toward people who are facing pain or difficulty. आप कहेंगे ये मेरी जेडी का हिस्सा है? नहीं, आपकी जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन में ये शामिल नहीं है कि किसी का दिल टूटा है तो उसको जोड़ने की कोई रेसिपी है आपके पास? दिल तोड़ना तो बहुत आसान है, but can you come up with some samad bond which can join these hearts together? I express compassion. It's not a management skill. That is the difference. You can do it, you may not do it. Still, it's all right. But think of it from the human point of view. Organizations are human systems. Yes, in human system, there is technology. There are machines. There are robots. We use them. We control them. But they should not control us. I'm not a machine that I don't have emotions. We are asking you and expecting from you, do you have compassion? I express compassion toward people who are facing pain or difficulty. Think about it, how deeper it will go. अच्छा, फिर इस तस्वीर का दूसरा रुख देख लीजिए. When you are in pain, when your department is in pain, products are not being sold. Projects are not coming in. European and American markets are tough. They do not look positively towards Pakistani companies. You feel the pain. You feel the pain of losing the job. You feel the pain that what will happen to your family when you lose the job. बिल्कुल उसी तरह से इस वक्त आपसे ये पूछा जा रहा है, do you express compassion to the others who might be in difficulty? I'm not sure आपका आंसर क्या है. Scale of 1 to 6, you might have given the answers. But please keep in mind, this is an expression which brings positive energy to the office. It brings positive change in the behavior of others towards you. And the last statement, statement number 80. Please take a look on it and then see what is your score. Statement number 80, my dear students. I usually emphasize a higher purpose or a meaning associated with the work I do, the product I'm making, the work I'm performing. It's not only that I'm being paid for it. Yes, you are being paid for it. Legally, you are bound to do this work, to be here, because you're paid for it. But we're looking, what is the higher purpose? Higher purpose is we want to bring not only satisfaction, but facilitation and enhancement in the lives of those people who use our services and products. We like to add value to the lives of the consumers. Look at the vision and mission statement of many companies. You will find, what is the higher purpose? Now, making profit is a purpose. Yes, I know. But you know, it's not a higher purpose. It's a bottom line. Remember? We call it bottom line. What is the top line? That's a higher purpose. What is the long-term purpose? That's what we're asking here. I usually emphasize higher purpose. And once again, when we learn this, even for the groups and organizations and societies, when we learn this from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, he was talking to his companions in a place, in a city, where there is no water, where there is no greenery, where there are no fruits, But speaking of higher purpose, if you do good deeds, if you follow this set of procedures, you will reach at a place where you will have plenty of fruits. Not only canals of waters and springs of water, but rather canals of honey and milk. Higher purpose. अच्छा, ऐसा भी हो सकता है? Higher purpose. हाँ, हो सकता है. If you have a vision and you articulate that vision. So that's not a management skill. It's a leadership skill. It's a advocacy skill. I'll bring that framework which you probably learned and we learned in session number 5. So I usually emphasize a higher purpose. Okay, so focusing on the organizational positive change. How to lead. मैंने कहा था ना, in this session, we like to focus on the organizational change. Why the organization should change? What are the pressures on the organizations? That they should adopt a change management strategies and policies. I've listed 5 of them. Number 1, globalization. Companies and the countries are living in a global village. The village and all the other villages are becoming flat. Globalization. How are you going to face this phenomena? When the markets are becoming global and the services are being offered from anywhere in the world, what are the pressures on the companies? What kind of new strategies and services and structures should be in place? Globalization. Number 2, information and communication technology. How it is affecting on your company's services and products. Look at how technology of information and communication has made the spread of information to the consumer, to the companies, to the competitor so fast. On a click of a button, you know what are the prices, what are the changes, where is the better quality product available. In the same way, how this information and communication technology is changing the consumer behavior. How it is affecting the kind of products and services you are bringing to the market. Number 3, quality and performance of your products and service. Can you perform in such a way that people would always keep on coming back to buy your services or products? Is it a quality local? Is it a quality global? Is it a quality that you are giving value more than what they are paying for? I don't want to go into the discussion what quality is, but very simple. Are you providing a service for the value which they paid for, equal or more or less? That will decide whether the customer will be satisfied or dissatisfied or pleased. Factor number 4, pressure number 4. I call it China factor. Cost and speed. I call it China factor. Cost and speed. How can this be produced? A quality product which will perform better but still at a cheaper price. And it can be provided so quick. In my village, at my home. Look at this trend. It's new. Consumers are expecting products, services delivered at home. We like to get mangoes from Sindh, peaches and plums from Frontier Province, and apples from Balochistan available to us in Lahore. Why not? Customers are willing to pay. How quick you can deliver. And look at these courier companies providing you services 24 hours a day, 24/7. Cost and speed. Are you available with your service 24/7 or not? And if a company is available with 24/7, think of it. What would consumers and customers will do? that would expect from you that come up with a system, come up with a procedure, come up with a mechanism which will make your company 24/7. And the last and the fifth pressure is the changing nature of the workforce. Look at the number of knowledge workers joining the company. Technically sound. Look at the number of women joining the workforce. Number is increasing. And speaking of the nature of workforce, isn't this a pressure for the male managers that the female managers are coming with more higher level of intelligence, degrees? Is it not a pressure? Number is increasing, and so is skill set. So the HR people should come up with a strategy and a policy. How are they going to deal this gender issue? Are you going to make some policies on sexual harassment? Gender harassment. See? Changing nature of workforce. And then, even in the organizations, when there are 5 males and you put a 1 female there, it creates pressure on everybody. But that's a fact. Number is increasing. And the companies would like and should like to change their HR policies, their hiring policies, their behavioral policies, their training policies. When you look and you look at the mix of the workforce, what is the mix of 20s and 30s? Remember we said Generation Y? Generation Y is at the highest level. Pakistan and Pakistan's population in the 20s and 30s, 60%. It's a good sign. So what will happen to the people of the 50s and 60s? That requires changes in the policy, because the changing nature of the workforce is changing. All right. So this brings me to a point that as a manager then, I was required to maintain and control and keep the status quo. But then as a leader, what are the characteristics? Remember that framework? I'll show you in a minute. Advocacy skills and market skills versus clan skills. And what were the fourth component? There are 4 types of skills. But speaking of the leadership skills, we are expected, you are expected to set the direction of yourself, of your product, of your service, of your design, of your team, of your department, of your organization. Set the direction and set it rightly. Looking at the market conditions, looking at the conditions of Pakistan, looking at the energy conditions, looking at the raw material flow conditions. These are the different conditions which will ask me and invite from me that what is the level of information I have, so I can switch, tune, and set a new direction. Initiate change. So change is a leadership skill. To initiate it, to sustain it, to lead it, it requires to take risk. And then one of the characteristics of the leaders is setting and creating something new. So please focus on the advocacy skill part, quadrant. Remember these 4 quadrants of the skills? Clan skills and hierarchy skills on the left side. But I like you to focus on the right hand side, top quadrant. Flexibility and change and external positioning. So when we look at the external markets, markets of Pakistan, markets of the Europe, markets of Middle East, market of USA, market of North America, South America, Asia Pacific. External positioning, because you are no longer local. Remember Pakistani products? Look at the spices. Look at the frozen foods. I'm glad when I saw frozen food, cooked food, Pakistani food available in Canada. Won't that surprise you? That means Pakistani spices, Pakistani taste, cooked as a food item, available as a frozen food in the North American market. Opening up new market. External positioning. Now, when you take this Pakistani food, frozen, may it be a chapal kebab, may it be a tikka or seekh kebab, whatever, available in the Canadian market. You can't put that level of red spices the way you do it in Pakistan. External positioning. It's a different market. External positioning. So when you externally position, and you have to make yourself flexible. So you have to change. Risk. Yes, I know. Risk is involved. But that requires from you, say, head of the marketing, head of the innovation, head of the product development, head of the business development, whoever so is. Can he or she articulate a vision for the consumers and their tastes in Canada for their Pakistani food frozen products? And I'm glad to share with you another Pakistani company. This Pakistani company has exclusive right. It's a courier company. Harvard Business School has written a case on it. We are proud of this Pakistani company. But this Pakistani company has been given exclusive rights to take the parcel and packages, it's a courier company, to the northmost island of Canada. Canada is almost at the North Pole. Canada as a country, and especially the Lawrence Island and the north parts of the island, where almost 10 months of the year it's snow. See the risk? People living in Pakistan, people living in the managers, working in the conditions of 40 degree and 50 degree, in winter, 28 degree. Now you are entering into a market where winter is minus 60 degree. You cannot use the same procedures and processes what you do in Pakistan. No. External positioning. But it brings new revenues. It brings promotion for you. So you have to develop a vision, articulate it, and you change your skill set. Right now, the skill set of the organization, of the department, fostering innovation. Innovation तो लानी पड़ेगी. मैंने कहा था ना, ये जो मिर्चों का लेवल है, कनाडा में नहीं चलेगा. You want to enter there? Fine. You will sell your product in dollars. And look at Canadian dollar. It has superseded even the American dollar. Look at the Australian market. It has gone from 45 to 50 rupees, more than 90 rupees per dollar. So, are you ready to foster innovation in providing services? In taking your products there? So this means you have to solve the problems creatively. So this quadrant requires that your processes be flexible. Your production planning be flexible. Your manager should love to work with uncertain conditions and certain conditions. This means you will position looking at the external market. And of course, if you look at the internal market, on the left-hand side, hierarchy skill or the market skill, these are managerial skills. So at the organizational level then, this quadrant of flexibility and change and external positioning would require those kind of skills which we are calling, or this book of Wheaton and Cameron is calling, advocacy skills. That's why when we were comparing the leadership with management, we said, if you believe in status quo, you are a manager. But if you like to open new directions, new markets, new products, new visions. It looks good, but it's risky. So if you've got a big heart, go ahead. That's a characteristic of a leader. It's a leadership skill. इसलिए हमने कहा था ना, management skills and leadership skills. See, what is the difference? Manager would do the things rightly. Recipe is followed. Leader would do the right things and change the recipe. Bring a new recipe. Bring a new design. Innovative product. Innovative design. Effective management and leadership are both inseparable. Inseparable. Polka is also required. But then dealing with peoples and projects. And dealing with people and projects and processes. And not forgetting the bottom line, the profits. Yes, it's inseparable. And necessary skills for today's business environment. So my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, 9 skills, interpersonal level, fundamental skills, group skills required. But please focus on the leadership skills as well. Developing a vision, setting a new direction, having a compassionate attitude. So we'll talk in the next session, how can you do it at the individual level? So what are the frameworks available to us at the organizational level in the perspective of change so that we can help clarify complex situations? It can help, these frameworks can help leaders not overwhelmed with new information coming from the new markets. You see, this is a new information that we are being provided with the new contract, but our parcels will be shipped in a condition where the temperature is minus 60. New information. A leader would say, I'll do it. I will learn how to develop and set new directions. And of course, being a manager and a leader, you will help stabilize the organizations. Stability and sustainability. Management, leadership, and governance. All is part of the game. Sooner you do it, sooner you learn it, better it is for your career. Regardless whether you come from a small village or a town or a big city. It's up to you. How you set your direction, how you articulate your vision. What is the scope of the change? Is it at the group level? Is it at the departmental level? Is it at the division level? Is it at the enterprise level, headquarter level? How many individuals will be impacted? Very simple example. When there are mergers and acquisitions, a company in Europe has acquired your company in Pakistan. How many people will be laid off? Will you be one of those? Change will come. Do you have a skill set which will be required even by the new company? So you will be not out of the job. That's up to you. You should keep always in mind what's coming in future. What type of change is required? Is it at the policy level, process level, system level, or your role is being changed? Instead of dealing with machines, now you'll be dealing with humans. And maybe you'll say, no, I'm not good at it. My interpersonal skills are not good. I'm comfortable dealing with robots. But you know, robots don't give you feedback. Humans give you feedback. Humans kick you back. Machines don't. It's more risky. But whoever so can handle people, whoever so can handle conflicts of people, they are paid higher level of benefits and jobs and salaries. Is it an incremental change? Is it an improvement? It's a dramatic change, breakthrough. Is it re-engineering? Quality management ke perspective mein? Is it a BPR or is it TQM? Is it Kaizen? Is it innovation? Think of it. Bring in mind what Steve Jobs did to its Apple. He had to make a decision. I want to take this company to high level. Should I go software base? Should I go hardware base? There is a lot of discussion. A big change, dramatic change, has to take place in company. After months of discussion, Steve Jobs made a decision. I will go software base. And look at the iPads, iPhones, iPods, you name it. And at the same time, you can't forget the competitor. So this means, looking at this change, there could be framework. What kind of approach you like to use? Choices are there, but you must be clear. Do you want to follow the economic approach, strategic approach, or people approach? I've taken 3 names. Economic approach and strategic approach, more or less milti-julti, rationalized, profit-oriented, short-term or long-term focus. But is it a people approach, OD approach, organizational development approach? There are different strategies. So if the approach is economic, purpose will be how to increase profits. By hook or by crook. It depends. Our purpose is to increase profit because our approach in changing the structure and the strategies of the organization is to increase profit. Even if we have to lay off people, we will do that. Because purpose is to increase profit. We want profit of the next quarter, $5 million. Well, if the profit level decision or the revenue decision is coming from the top, so leadership is top-down. Decision will come from the top and you have to implement it. Focus will be then on structure and strategy. What kind of teams will be in place? What strategy would you use to increase the profit? And in this case, then the motivation would be incentives will lead the performance. Whoever so as a department, whoever so as a person will provide the performance, incentives will be given. What is the incentive? Profit, dollar, rupees. Because the focus of change is economics. Nothing wrong with it. You will find many companies doing the same thing. There is another choice, OD approach. In OD approach, change is thought, planned, implemented, but here the purpose would be, we want to build, develop the competencies of the employees. See, that's why I said it's people-focused. OD approach is a people-focus. So purpose here will be, it's not a direct approach to earn profit. Profit will be there, my dear students. Bottom line will be there. But we will develop the competencies of the employees, and in return, the employees will give us better design, better market, better sales, better brand, better profit. Thoda waqt lagega. It's a long-term approach. Leadership would be not top-down, participative. Quality culture, quality councils, participative. And if the OD approach is followed, the leadership style has to be participative. Focus will be on developing and creating a culture, a set of norms and values where people can work together in a win-win approach. And in this case, the motivation will be incentives, but lagging performance. Performance first, incentives will follow. Economic model में, मुझे बताइए जी मुझे क्या मिलेगा इसमें? Incentives will lead the performance. You tell me how much my salary will be increased, what will be the bonus, what will be the perks, what will be the benefits. I will show you the performance. In this case, I will give you the performance. And I know some incentives will be given to me because you have helped me to develop my competencies. And remember we spoke of competencies? communication competency, culture competency. And those are the things which are required, and they add value to your life, to your career. So approach is different. And I think both of these approaches, whether you like to follow, remember that Kurt Lewine's model, unfreezing, freezing and unfreezing and learning and relearning. Chris Agrest's model is unlearning and learning and relearning. And Kurt Lewine's model is defreezing and refreezing and freezing. You look into those models and see how both can be applied in the approaches of the changes. So organizations are designed to favor stability, but then at the same time, leaders are required who will create change, and change positive. And speak of the positive, please take a look at it. At the organizational level, when we speak of positive, this means it should be a healthy organization. Physiologically speaking, it should not be healthy, it should be wellness program. Not healthy program. Healthy is normal. Individual should be healthy, organization should be healthy. Now when organization is healthy, we mean it's profitable. See the difference? When the individual is healthy, his physiological health is good. His psychological health is good. But when organization is healthy, that's a normal attitude, it's profitable. But when we say it's a positive change in individual, physiologically, then he should be well. Not healthy, well. And psychologically, ideas should be flowing out of him. So at the organization level then, when we speak of revenues, negative means unprofitable. Normal means profitable. And positive means generous flow of profit. What is efficiency? If it is normal, it's an efficient organization. If it's a positive change, it's an extraordinary organization. How about on relationship? If it's a normal change, compatible. If it's a positive change, caring organization. How about if it's negative? Conflict-based organization. You have threats, no cooperation, no caring. And take a look, when there is a positive change, you are unlocking the positive energy, positive human potential. You are creating an attitude of abundance. You are engaging the heart as well as mind. See the difference? Positive climate will keep your thoughts positive, because your thoughts will become your words. Keep your words positive, because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive, because your behavior, when it becomes positive, it becomes your habit. Keep your habits positive, because your habits becomes your values. And when you keep your values positive, because your values becomes your destiny. It has all connected together and they lead. Please take a look. When you have a frustration, how your heart is beating. When you are healthy, positive mindset, the heart is appreciative. The heartbeat is normal. It has a physiological effect. Same is in the case of organization. You establish a positive climate, positive energy will follow. You will attention and focus on strengths, and you will give feedback. And at the same time, you will try to develop unique strengths, because weaknesses are converted into strengths. So, to bring a change in the organization, you will create readiness in the team. You will show a vision and articulate. Then you will find that you create commitments among the team. And of course, then you institutionalize the change. 4 steps in. Number 1, you create readiness among the team members. You set standards. You look for goals. You establish improvement standards. Because you are developing readiness. You institutionalize and let people take the charge. Look at the Abdustar Eidi and the kind of social responsibility he has taken in Pakistan. Look at Sitara Group of companies, for example, how they have taken the social services in their areas of work. Look at Steve Jobs, the kind of technology and the products Apple is providing to the consumers of the world, creating readiness for change in the markets, in the consumers, developing experiential marketing, developing and creating new products. But they have a vision. Vision, speak to the heart, speak to the head, speak to the mind, speak to the hands. They include values. They identify the future. They have a deeper meaning. They show optimism that we will give you the best product, the best service, value for your money. It's a vision of abundance. You bring left brain and the right brain together. You make a colorful future. Speaking of abundance, this means we are here to capture positive energy. And once we bring in the passion and compassion, and we blend it with the principles, and we attach it with the vision, this means we will apply principle of fun and recreation. We learn from Japanese, the work will become fun. So, the work will be recreational, feedback will be frequent, choices will be there, commitment will go higher. And once the commitment will go higher, the vision is institutionalized. Vision is implemented, and your wins are celebrated, and the vision is communicated, and communicated in such a way that change and a positive change is institutionalized. That is what we are talking, change in the organization. But, my dear students, it will happen only when you make your team ready. When you create and articulate a vision, and you communicate, and let people commit to it. And then you institutionalize, and people feel part of the game. People feel part of the change, and people harness the positive energy and synergy. It's good for all. It's win-win for all. And that's why the change is sustained. That's a leadership skill, not management. Thank you for listening. And I hope wherever you're working, you like to see that you establish and you take the lead and you come up with a vision and be a change agent and a leader in your area of work. Good luck. Thank you, and thank you very much.